try this again now that we're closer to the hour. Fire it up on Facebook and on YouTube. Looks like we're on, so that's good. All right, now I gotta make a few all right, where's my video at? Must be on here somewhere, folks. And this is the reason I like to hop on here a few minutes early, just to get things all set up for the show here. All right, settings. Chiller chat, Jack's shadow. And I think we're good with CBTV Horror Network. That should be good. All right. Tom says, yo. Raymond says something. Cassandra says, hello. Doc Dredd says, hey. Bryan Hogue, hey. Doc says, watching from Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Tom says, you sound good, look good. What else is there to do? I don't know. I think we covered it all. All right. Ava says, hi. Hey, baby. All right. We are about a minute and a half away from our official Chiller Night Live pre-show, which we haven't done since the end of September. So all right. Who else we got here? David says, ready, set, chiller pre-show and cold champagne pop. All right. Now I will say this is the first time I've had the snowball mic set up. If this starts causing trouble, if this starts causing problems, let me know and I will switch the audio over to the webcam mic. But I wanted to give this, the old snowball mic another try. So we'll try it. 7:59. All right, almost time here for the pre-show, for the opening here. All right, it looks like everything is on here right. I'm happy to see that. Happy to hear that. I'm going to try something also. I'm going to try. No, you know what? Everything's working right. I'm not going to touch anything. All right. We'll just leave it be at that. And then we'll just, hey, it's 8 o'clock, so we'll just start the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Chiller Night Pre-Show. I am Bryan Hogue, and what I do from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until just a few minutes shy of 9 is I talk about the upcoming Chiller Night television schedule on Stream TV, and that plays from 9 p.m. Eastern Time until, well, we play shows of Chiller Night Theater and Chiller Chat up until about 3:30 in the morning. Give or take. So, welcome. It's been a while, folks. Typically, we're on here every Saturday night. Had to take a hiatus had to take the month of October off due to the haunted house, the Harrisville haunted house. So, but I am here, and you are here, and together again for another Chiller Night pre-show. So, thank you. And I want to thank Chop Block TV. They got a neat little logo. I just got that today from them. So I want to thank them. I'm actually appearing on their Facebook channel. And also, of course, the Paranormal Warehouse. So, and of course, Stream TV. So they have given me the platform over the last 2 years to be playing Chiller Night Theater and Chiller Chat. So I want to thank everybody all of you. You've all made this happen, and thank all of you for joining me. Tom says, did you ever record a walkthrough of the haunted house? I have. I did get a video of that. I was going to try to get that loaded onto the queue tonight. I just didn't have time. I was over there tearing the haunted house down today, and I got some stuff loaded on the queue today that I wanted to talk about here tonight, but I didn't. The only thing I got was right there. I got a nice photo there of some of the creepers there at the Harrisville haunted house. So we had a really good time, a very, very good time. And we managed to scare a lot of people. We had a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to look at the chat. Let's see what we're doing here. MHM Shore says, yay, Ami folk. Okay. Welcome back, says Glam Fangs. All right. I must have said folks at some point, so somebody's happy that they're labeled that way. All right. No labeling, no judging. All right, so Al says, welcome back, Brian. Well, thank you. Thanks, Al. Thanks for joining me. Brad says, haha, it's a Chiller Night pre-show with the returning Bryan Hogue, starring Bryan Hogue. And now here's Brian. Brian, we miss you, Brian. It's been a while. What's on tonight? Well, thank you. I've missed all of you as well. Thank you very much. Let's see. Tonight's schedule. Let's get that up there. Okay, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Werewolf of Washington. And at 11 p.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is Daniel Doing. Be talking about his comic book, The Fringe Knight. 11:30 p.m. Chiller Night Theater will be A Bucket of Blood. And 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is Tops Paranormal. And 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is once again Werewolf of Washington. So there you have it, folks. That is our schedule for tonight. I wanted so bad to have new episodes in October. That just... wow, that wasn't... I was super busy. Just didn't get a chance to realistically get that done at all. So Doc Dread gives me the eye and the ear. So all right, so I'm on there. You can hear me and see me. Good. David says, ready, set, chiller pre-show, and cold champagne pop. All right, I was waiting for that. Raymond says, dig the passing flying saucer. Oh, yeah. And once again, we got Jack Shadow up there. If you look, our sharp-eyed viewers can see him up there moving around and whatever Jack does before the show to prepare for Chiller Night Theater. So, but we had... Terry Murphy said, I've missed you. Oh, thank you. Missed all of you. I've missed you as well. So thanks for joining me tonight. I'll tell you what, it was different. It was so strange not having this show for a whole month. So not sure what I'm going to do next October because there's actually 5 weekends in October. Maybe by then we'll have figured out a way to do this, at the haunted house. So we will see. I hate to miss an entire month. So we'll see what we can come up with. It was a good season. As you've seen, if you've seen my post from earlier, it ain't over for me yet. Halloween is over, yes. But now's the teardown. So it just never ends. So now's the teardown, and it's very cold over there. So I get to work in the cold and tearing those panels down, and then we'll put everything nicely into storage for the year. And Al says Saturday nights were not the same without you. Oh, thank you, Al. I appreciate that. Brad says, can you believe I'm watching WCW World War III on WWE Network? LOL. Yes, I actually can believe that. You wrestling fan, you. All right, Morlock Meat says, getting the popcorn ready. All right. Cool. Brad says 1995. Yes, that was a while ago. All right, so here we are. Okay, we did the haunted house. We covered that. And of course, another thing I had happening in October was the Midnight Monster Party that took place down at the Strip District. And I'll have this running as I'm talking. That was, whoop, cut me off here. That was at the Strip District in Pittsburgh, and that, of course, was with James Hogue and Diana Withrow, and they were doing this for to benefit Autism Speaks, and there I am, descending the steps. And I think if you look, I can't point over the picture, but David and Diane are up in the, that was their table up there for the night. So that was, I just said, hey, I want that table, and that'd be really awesome if we could sit there and then just hit the spotlight on me, and I'll just walk down the steps to do the speech. I was tempted to walk out onto that stage, step onto the stage, but instead I just I thought it'd be kind of neat to walk into the crowd, so that's what I chose to do instead. So Tom says, I don't see any strippers. No, I didn't either. So Katrina Ones, are you waving or just showing me proof that you have hands? I don't know. But hey, Katrina, thanks for joining me tonight. Thank you very much. And all right, enough of that. So that was I had that to prepare for the month of October, as well as I was on an episode of Eric Sproul's, I don't know if you remember, but right before we went on our break, Eric was on this show right here, and he was talking about his show Dead and Buried Treasure, where he is a horror host. He goes by Captain Calico Drake, and he did a crossover episode for his Halloween show, and it featured Jack Shadow and some other hosts as well, from the Vortex and Spooky Spectre. So that's pretty cool. And I was also on his show, his pre-show, Walk the Plank. So there was just so much going on in October, but I am glad to be back. Now Katrina One is showing me some leaves, waving high five. Okay, all right. Thank you. And Cassandra says, that was awesome. James and I were up there watching you. It was so great. That's right. James was up here at the time when I started going down the steps as well. So that was quite a night. There was a lot of people out there who attended the Midnight Monster Party. And so that was really, really cool. And then I have a new Chiller Chat coming up. Have you any fans of Creepshow, of the old the movies 1 and 2 back in the 80s, of course, of George Romero and Stephen King collaborating on those shows together? Those were done in much in the same vein as the old EC comics, like Tales from the Crypt. You know, they had the comic book look and feel. They have the spooky narrator, you know, the creep, and I will be having, actually Monday I'll be taping this episode coming up. I'll be in the studio in Oil City taping this, and who I have for my guest, if you like the animation from the show, I'm only going to leave this up for a few seconds, but this is some of the segments there from Creepshow 2. But see, all the background animation work and the animation work was done by several people, but one of the background artists, or the background artist, is named Phil Wilson. Now, Phil is going to be on Chiller Chat. Phil has worked on both movies, 1 and 2, plus he is doing the work for the new Creepshow series on Shudder, Greg Nicotero's Creepshow. So that is, I'm really super happy to be having Phil on there. We'll be filming this one on Monday, and then I'm going to try to have a brand new Chiller Night Theater and a brand new Chiller Chat. That's the one with Phil on it. On Saturday, November 23rd. The neat thing about Monday is this Chiller Chat is Phil's also going to be bringing up the original artwork, the original animation cells from the Creepshow movies to show me, and I'll be showing you as well. And he has sent me some of the artwork that he will be featuring on that episode. So it's going to be really super cool. I'm very excited. Because if you know me, if you know my background, you know that I have a background in art, and I've always loved those the EC comics. I've always been a fan of the Creepshow movies, and part of what makes Creepshow, the heart of that is the fact that it has that feel of the old horror comics, and that of course is done, from the animation. The animation is a very important part of that movie, the movie and the series. And so to have somebody who's actually worked on, he not only did the background artwork for it, he did for Creepshow and for the new Creepshow series. He's actually worked on the animation, the background, and the animation itself for Creepshow 2. But I will let him tell you all about that in this upcoming episode of Chiller Chat. And I think it's really super cool. He's actually coming up from Pittsburgh to join me in the studio in Oil City, where we'll be taping that particular episode of Chiller Chat. So Katrina 1 says, exciting stuff. Thank you. And Brad says, I was reading. Brad says, I tried to make it out to Chillerfest to see and walk in Jack Shadow's haunted castle, but it was too far. Yes, yeah, that would have been quite a journey, huh? Terry says they eat meat. Yes, yeah, I know. The plants at the end. Well, those bullies. I've always loved those. Tales from the Crypt, and of course now with the Creepshow. They're all tales of comeuppance. The bad guy's always going to get theirs, and there's something just kind of cool about that, which carries over. They all. Think about it. The Friday the 13th, and Michael Myers. Halloween. They're just if your teen does anything wrong, oh boy, they're going to get theirs. But they were a bit more pronounced in the Tales from the Crypt and Creepshow. Brad says, why do I keep calling it that? Do tell, Brad. And Cassandra says, where can I see the Captain's Crossover Halloween show with Jack Shadow? I will post a link somewhere. Honestly, I hate to say this, if Eric, you're watching, I appreciate you doing that, and he sent me those links, but I've just been so busy, I haven't, I checked out the part with Jack Shadow on it, honestly, like a few minutes before I did this tonight, so I didn't do that. I didn't get the chance to check out the pre-show that I had been on, that he had me as a guest on. So I didn't really get a chance to watch any of this stuff just because of the schedule's been a bit hectic. But as soon as I get that up, I'll post that. Maybe I'll even post it on the website. Katrina 1 says, is there an online horror community you recommend? I'd like to join something like that. Well, we have. We actually have. You mean on Facebook? If you're talking about on Facebook, we have. We actually have a Chiller Night Facebook group page, and where every Thursday night we have a watch party, 8 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday night, and if not, if you're talking about something other than Facebook, maybe Cassandra, I know she's involved in a lot of those. Maybe you can give a recommendation out. Oh, Katrina says, I don't care where. And we also have other watch parties as well on there, or you can have them. There was more when we first launched the page. But Thursday night's kind of like the regular one, like the one that everybody knows about. It's going to be every Thursday at 8 p.m. And Corpus Christine is the kind of manages that page and picks out the movies and does a good job moderating that as the movies play. And Brad says, I just kept thinking about Chilly Billy Cardell, that's all. With the Chiller Fest. Oh, yeah, that would be kind of a neat thing to call it. And then Katrina says, okay, what's the Facebook page name? It's called, actually, it's called Chiller Night. It's Chiller Night. Not Chiller Night Live or nothing like that. It's just called Chiller Night. So if you go to that, if you looked up that, you just have to request to be a member of the group, and we'll certainly let you in, and you can come on in and join us every Thursday night. I say us. I am guilty when I say us, because I haven't been able, actually since July, to really participate in these. But I know there's a lot here that get on there, as well as we have a lot of other people who get on there and participate with that Chiller Night group page. Putting up this haunted house. I'm still. I had so much going on from July. Actually, from July until well, even now I'm still working on it. So I have not, regretfully so, I've not been able to participate in the Thursday night watch parties. But I know didn't Corpus play They Live Thursday night? I think that would be the movie with Roddy Piper. I think that's the one that played Thursday night, and I would have loved to have seen that. I love that movie. And Katrina says, oh, I see the Facebook link. Okay. And then Tom says, speaking of watch parties, is Corpus going to tell us what's coming up? Yeah, is she... I don't know. Is she on here? I don't know if she's on here. I don't... I haven't seen her. Corpus, are you here? And Corpus says, I'm under Catherine ESS on Facebook. Just FYI, I'll request. Okay, all right, cool. And then Cassandra has posted. Oh, you posted the link. And then Terry says, will Jack be back tonight? I'll be, well, at 9 p.m. for Chiller Night Theater. And then again throughout the night there will be other, I'll throw this back as I'm talking. 9 p.m. Jack will be hosting Werewolf of Washington. And then, of course, at 11:30, Chiller Night Theater, A Bucket of Blood. That was the, if you recall, earlier this year, that was the live episode of Chiller Night Theater that we did, the Jack Shadow Friday Night Frights. And then 2 a.m., I almost did the voice there, didn't I? At 2 a.m., Chiller Night Theater, the movie is Werewolf of Washington. All right. Jack was just here minutes ago. All right, just a few seconds ago. And then Brad says, are you planning on having Dark Horse Championship Wrestling back? You know, I can't even think about that right now, to be honest with you. I just am so overwhelmed with the haunted house and trying to keep up with the Chiller Chat episodes and Chiller Night Theater. So Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, as much as I would love to, to relaunch that, it's going to have to definitely take a back seat, a far back seat for now. So I don't know. I honestly, I just can't. I can't even think about that right now. To be honest with you, Brenton says, "Hello, everyone. Looks great, Dad." Oh, thanks, Brenton. I appreciate you hopping on here and checking it out. I'm actually using Brenton's webcam that he loaned me to try this out until I get one of my own. So I think it's a sharper image than the other one I was using, so I appreciate that. And Tom says, "Stop ruining my childhood, LOL." What? What did I do? What, with Jack's voice? I swear he was here just a few seconds ago. But anywho, all right. If that's what you were talking about, I don't know. But I think it's pretty cool with I'm super excited about my guest coming up for Chiller Chat, because now you all know that I love horror movies. I'm a big fan of the classics. I'm a big fan of, you know, all the, you know, Night of the Living Dead and George Romero's Dead movies and stuff like that. But and even the Creepshow 1 and 2. However, I think what makes this kind of neat is because Phil Wilson is working on the new Creepshow series, and that's new and that's now. So as much as I love the classics, and I will always want to have anybody from those movies on who's been on Night of the Living Dead. I get a big thrill out of doing that. But I think what really has me so excited about this is the Creepshow series that's on Shudder right now. Phil is working on that, as well as some other. There was another guy I'm talking to, trying to get him on the show, and he might be able to do a phone episode. We'll see. And if that's the case, he's worked on the original movies and he's working on the current series as well. So I think this is really super cool, you know, to have guests like that on Chiller Chat, because I mean, this is, to me, this is a big deal, especially since, you know, I love comic books. I've always loved horror comics. I've loved Creepshow because of that, and Tales from the Crypt. So I'm super excited. Tom says, "I hate that my jokes got seen 5 minutes late." Yes, your Jack impression. I know, there's that delay. I know. Sorry, Tom. Brad says, "I think Dark Horse is the last thing on your mind after this past month." LOL. It is, but I will say, I mean, there have been a couple people asking me that, even in October. There was somebody, a young guy named Colby, who came through. He's super big in the wrestling, and he loves DCW, and was asking me if I was going to get that going again. For those who don't know, other than Brad and myself, I had technically I still have. I didn't like shut it down. I didn't pull the plug on it, but Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, it's a professional wrestling show that I did. It's an organization that I own, and for 2 years it aired every Sunday on WICU in Erie, an NBC affiliate station in Erie. And it was just, I don't know, I enjoy that too. You know, kind of like following in the footsteps of Bill Cardell in my small little way, because Bill Cardell, of course, Chilly Billy, was the host of Chiller Theater that aired out of WPXI in Pittsburgh. And Bill Cardell was also known as the voice of wrestling, because he was an announcer, a commentator right there for Studio Wrestling that aired in Pittsburgh way back in the day. So, and then when I did talk to Bill Cardell, so we would sometimes talk about wrestling as well as Chiller and Vincent Price and all the, you know, George Romero and all the horror things and the Chiller things. We also would talk about wrestling as well, and the good old days back when, you know, there was Bruno Sammartino and Killer Kowalski and all that, which I may be boring you hardcore horror folks, but it was just really cool that I don't know. I get a big thrill out of that. I am entertained by that type of thing. Not so much the new stuff. Brad, if you said anything new, quite honestly, I don't know. I'm not up on the new stuff. I've tried to be when I was doing DCW, just from a business point of view, to be kind of up on things, but my time of watching wrestling was back in the 70s up until the first couple years into the 80s, and after that I had a lot of catching up to do. I'll put it that way. A lot of DVDs I had to buy just to get up on. Doc says George the Animal. Ah, yeah, George the Animal Steel. I remember him well. Eating the turnbuckles. Jeez. But that's a lot of fun. That stuff's a lot of fun. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm bringing new episodes. I'm gonna try to get a new Chiller Night Theater and a new Chiller Chat, folks. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it my all, a very honest effort to get them out to you on Saturday, November 23rd. I would like to get them both on the same night. I think that'd be kind of nice because it's been a while since we've had any a new show. So the last new one was Plan 9 from Outer Space, which I think I featured that in September. So was it in September? I think it was. But I really wanted to get you a new episode in October. That just wasn't working out because even on the days off, I was super busy with we were open 4 days a week. You know, normally I'm open 2 days a week, Friday and Saturdays. We were actually open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, and then on top of that, like I said, I had the Midnight Monster Party. I had the Dead and Buried Treasures episode that Jack Shadow was in that, and that wasn't pre-taped before October. I did all that stuff in October while this was going on as well. So, I don't know if I'll do all that again in 1 month unless I'm completely retired. You know, that's a lot. That's a lot. 4 nights a week plus these other things on top of that. As much as I love all things horror and Halloween and Chiller, and you know that really wore me out, folks. It took a lot of wind out of my sails, but it really did. Now let's see. Tom says live Chiller Night Theater. That is. Oh, Tom says when's the next live show? Next Chiller Night Theater. I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't have anything in mind unless we start out in January. Maybe January. I'll tell you, because after I get this tore down, I'm just I might just take a, you know, other than the Chiller Night pre-shows, I might just take a little breather. Wow. It's like I said, it's I love it or I wouldn't be doing it, obviously, but it did take a lot out of me. October was, wow. October beat me up pretty bad. Yeah, I'd do it again in a heartbeat, but I'm drained. I'm exhausted. And Brad says, oh wait, before that, David says a highlight of the Midnight Monster Party was when the band played the version of Chiller Night Theater's theme, or Chiller Theater's theme, in dedication to Bill Cardell and Jack Shadow. I know, I wasn't expecting that. The Turbosonics, the band that was there, they said, you know, we're giving this tribute to Bill Chilly Billy Cardell and Jack Shadow, and they played Experiment in Terror, which was the theme music for Chiller Theater. And if you listen to the original An Experiment in Terror, it's a little slower, a little twangier, you know. The version that they used on Chiller Theater is a little quicker than the version that they played, but it's still the same. It's the same song. It's from a different band, is all. But it was really super cool. I didn't know they were gonna do that. I heard, and this one's for, you know, and when I heard them mentioning Jack Shadow and Bill Cardell in the same sentence, I was very thrilled at that. That was a super honor for me. I didn't know they were going to do that. So if anybody from the Turbosonics is watching here tonight, thank you. I really appreciated that. That was super cool. And Brad says Friday Night Fright anytime soon. Okay, and that I think it depends on your definition of soon. It won't be soon. It won't be anytime in the remaining weeks of 2019. That I pretty confidently say. So we'll probably have to pick that back up in maybe January. So I just after I get the haunted house tore down and a few other things done with the Chiller Chat and the editing of the new Chiller Night Theater episode, I think I'm just gonna kind of enjoy the holiday season and recharge a little bit, and then again I'll still be doing these because I took a month off. I don't need to take any more time off from this, but then, and Dale says hello everyone. Hey Dale, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us tonight. Cassandra says hello. Tom says your shirt matches the book behind you. At least part of it does. Yes, that's very observant. The Dracula. Look at that. It's like they're twins. This is I think if you know me, you know that I love stuff from a lot of this stuff is from my childhood, my love of horror, and these books were a big, they were from Crestwood House, that was the publisher, and I used to read. I'd get them out of my library, and this is from a library. I didn't take this from my school, though. I ordered this off of eBay, and it's really cool because it came as a library book. Somebody was still checking it out in 1989, so that's kind of neat. But anyways, yeah, I used to love these. I'd read all these, and when I was a little kid, read. I just had to have one, so I looked that up on eBay and got that. When did I get that? I think I got that maybe for my birthday or a Christmas or something. I don't know. Just like the Frankenstein Jiggler that now you can't see the green on here because I'm chroma keying, but and I may revisit the idea of doing a Jack Shadow Jiggler. I had one window of opportunity earlier in 2019 to do it. And I used the wrong type of clay, and it just got ruined. So I bought a new type of Sculpey clay that I'll be using for my second attempt. So hopefully we'll see something. I mean, I need to retire, folks. I just need to retire. Terry says it's okay. You the break. Oh, you deserve a break. All right. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that. Terry said, I guess the champagne's going to my head. That could very well be. All right. Brad says, February okay? February might be. I mean, January might be. We might start out the year. Might start out 2020 doing it. David put a link there. I'm not sure what that's to, because I'm afraid I dare not click that or I'll probably screw everything up. And then Doctor said, those books are awesome. Monster Kid Gold. Oh, I know. I love that. I was big into that stuff. I mean, I've put this up here before. Like I've put a thing that inspired me. Like when I was a kid, I used to love those books. Of course, I loved all the Universal monster movies, the Hammer horror movies. Chiller Theater every Saturday night with Chilly Billy Cardell. These I had all these characters, the Wolfman and Frankenstein and Dracula, all that stuff. Haunted houses, it's just everything that I'm still doing in my 50s. I just had to drag it on with me into my adulthood. But Brad says, you earn a break, Brian. LOL. Yes. I think I'll just take it easy until the end of the year. But this will be fun. We'll do this, and if anything, I'll do Chiller Chats. Those are far easier for me to do than the Chiller Night Theaters. I'll tell you what I need in order for me to really keep up with the Chiller Night Theaters. It could be done. But I think down the road, I'm going to try to. What I would need is somebody writing the episodes for me, to be quite honest with you, and then I would edit them to make sure that they kind of fit the verbiage and the character of Jack Shadow. And if I could just do that and just show up at the TV studio and tape them, You know, I could keep up with that. I could have a new one every week if I could do it that way. But for me to actually the most time consuming part of all of that is actually just writing the episode, because I don't like to just get on there and do impromptu stuff. I like to dig into the movie. I like to do some research on the movie and the actors and stuff like that. I find that stuff really fascinating, and I think people enjoy that. But someday, Dale says, is there a movie tonight? Yes, there will be at 9 o'clock, which is, what, 25 minutes away? Less than 25 minutes away. That is, I'll throw this up here again. That is The Werewolf of Washington will be on tonight. And right there's the schedule for tonight. We do have gaps in between the programs. If there's a way, if there's a way we can figure out how to do that, then we will. But here's my thing. You tell me what you think. But my thinking was when Luke Rio, the station manager, were like, well, some movies and some episodes are shorter than others or longer than others. So how can we? It's not going to be a true 2-hour time period for that, or even an hour and a half. You know, I can't really do that either, because some of those go over. So okay, we'll set the time at 9. We'll set the first Chiller Chat at 11. We know at 11:30 another Chiller Night Theater's coming on. So these are times that we know we can hit. The only problem is there is space. Sometimes there's a lot of space in between those shows, and I don't like to do that, but in a way, I'm not sure how to avoid it either. So maybe one of you can think of I've even actually thought about putting snippets of this show at the end to make it a 2-hour episode. I don't know. I mean, maybe. So that we can, not have gaps in between the programming. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I love hearing ideas. Always have, always will. So if somebody thinks of something that will work, by golly, we can try it. Brad says, if you retire, Brian, I'll cover you. All right. Well, if I retire from my actual job, I could probably do all this on my own. Because I've been doing it kind of on my own, or a lot of on my own so far. It's just that, I'll tell you, it really just, I would love to crank out new episodes. Here's my goal. I'll tell you my goal. And I've mentioned it on here before, but my goal would be for the Chiller Night Theater to be a live show every week. Now, I could only do that if I get sponsorship, because and that's why I very much appreciated the Vicelli Pizza. Do I have them on there? Ah, there we go. I'll throw up Vicelli. That didn't sound good, did it? No, their pizza's good. I won't throw it up, but I'll throw the logo up because they were a great sponsor for the Jack Shadow Friday Night Frights earlier in the year. For like the first 6 months, so they really were super supportive of Chiller Night Theater. And the Haunted House, if you recall, they were a sponsor of the Haunted House. They were really cool because they handed out all these flyers with every order that went out the door. The Butler, Pennsylvania Vicelli Pizza, David Long, if you're watching here tonight, thank you. And so, but I would really have to get. It takes a lot of time. I don't say this stuff to make it sound like a burden. I mean, again, obviously, I wouldn't do any of this if it weren't fun for me. I love this stuff. I love it. But I'm just saying, time management wise, for me to justify all this time I'd be pouring into making that happen, I would have to have some sponsorship. I gotta, but 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 I would love to see it go in that direction. I would love to see that become a live show, just like Chiller Chats. I think eventually I could have those be a live weekly show, and for that one, I would need someone to book guests for me, for me to be able to keep up with that. So we'll see. I mean, these are things I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, what would I need to do to keep up with all of this? Because as much as I love all of this, this here, now this part here, it's getting a little more fancy because I'm loading more, like when I'm putting stuff like this up there, that all has to be prepared and loaded onto the queue and all that. But I am learning. If you recall, some of you earlier viewers of the show, I was doing this show on my cell phone. This was how the pre-show was done, because I wanted there to be an awareness. Hey, everybody, look what's coming on at 9 o'clock, because there was really not much announcing that. I don't even think our local newspaper had put anything on or would put anything on to announce that. So I just decided to jump on here and do it, and I'm glad I did, because it's really getting some recognition. You folks are joining me every week, and I really hated to take October off, but maybe we've got a year to figure this out, how we can make this happen, and maybe do a pre-show from the haunted house. Could you imagine that? That'd be kind of neat. It'd be kind of neat to set it up to where people leave the haunt, and hey, maybe they can tell you their opinion of it or something. I don't know. Like I said, I got a year to figure this out, so we'll see if we can get something figured out. And then, let's see. Tom says you should consider doing some short films along with the movies. Yeah, I don't, some like just like public domain or something like that. You know what? Maybe I could do something like that, or even show an old serial of something. An old serial of I don't know, something that would have to fit the horror or science fiction theme. I don't know, like an old Buck Rogers or something, a 20-minute episode to finish off the end of that episode. I don't know. That's cool. Send me more ideas, though. I mean, Cassandra says, I need you to fill content. I can help. Play Nocturnal web series. Oh, yeah. That's an idea. Also, speaking of that, I wanted to ask you this. You and David, when I saw you at the Midnight Monster Party, we were talking about you guys were going to come up here and film for the web series. So here at the house. So let me know when you want to do that. I wasn't sure when you want to do that. You had mentioned something about one of these one of these Saturdays in November. So let me know, and we'll see. Tom says, don't want to make too much work for you. That would be kind of neat. That would be kind of neat, though, because then we wouldn't have all that stuff in the middle. The weather and stuff like that, and which is, that's fine, but you might have a little bit of that, maybe like 5 minutes of it, instead of like, I don't know how much is on there, like 20 minutes sometimes, and Raymond says, how do the TV stations keep the programming continuous? They do that by setting, you have to, if for example, when I was doing Dark Horse Championship Wrestling for WICU, they gave me a format that was very I had to stick by that, meaning time-wise. They said, okay, I place commercials here. I do an opening. I place a commercial. How many commercial spots? And then they fill up a certain amount of commercial spots, which is time. I give them, for example, a 30-minute program would be like 22 minutes of content. And they'll put 8 minutes worth of commercials in there. But I know it's going to be 22 minutes of my content and 8 minutes of their advertising that's divided up into however many segments. Now, if that's the case, I could do that. But I'd have to figure out how to how to make that happen, you know. I don't know. Wheels are turning, so we will see. We will see. Brad says, I thought you liked my Chiller Night intermission show, LOL. Oh, that, the watch parties. Yes. Well, some of those are, I get it. Hey, if you like that, you know, if people want to jump on there and watch, a lot of that's wrestling. So, you know, if you want to go from the mood from chiller to wrestling, have at it. You know, you're always welcome to do that. Brad says Stream TV should pay you a lot for being Jack Shadow per Chiller Night Theater. Well, I appreciate that, but you know, they also are giving me studio space. They're also giving me I'm being acknowledged on their website. I'm being broadcasted on their TV station. So, you know, I got no complaints. It really is a win-win for both of us. I appreciate what they're doing, and I thank you for saying that. But Raymond says, hire an assistant? I may have to do that. But if I were to hire an assistant, there again, I would need sponsors, you know. So we'll see. David says second glass of champagne. Cheers. All right, second glass, and it's 8:48 already. Wow, I've forgotten just how fast the time flies here. Tom says yes, or yeah. Terry says October is a busy month for a lot of people. Yes, it is. It sure is. David says, how about a short Jack Shadow movie? I would love that. You know what I would like? We've mentioned that before. We've talked about that. I think that would be a neat idea. But what about this? Be kind of neat to do a version of the Chiller Night, the Spirit of Halloween. Maybe make this into some type of Halloween special. Maybe an hour long. Maybe something like that, to where you know, some TV stations would play it. Maybe. I'm sure Stream TV would. They've been very super supportive of. In fact, they're the reasons I'm still continuing with the show. To be honest with you, I wasn't going to continue Chiller Night Theater, and the only reason I even continued it was, as much as I loved it, I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the know-how. You know, I'm not a technical person. I don't know cameras. I don't know audio. You know, that's why I struggle so much just with what I have here. And when it was, you know, told to me that, hey, I got a phone call, you know, Luke introduced himself, said, you know, and he said he would be very interested in having Chiller Night Theater on the TV station. And, you know, when he said, okay, we'll do this and this and this to help you, wow. I was like, wow. Because, you know, in the early episodes of Sleepy Hollow Theater, that's what Venango Video did for me, too. You know, they were helping out with the filming and the audio and the editing and stuff like that. And then after a while, you know, I was just kind of doing it on my own. And boy, you could kind of tell. And then, so and in the early episodes of Chiller Night Theater, it again, you know, because I was trying to figure all this stuff out. So. It's only when I collaborated with Stream TV is when you get the better look and sound. that you're seeing now. I kind of wince every time I play those old episodes of Chiller Night Theater. They're blurry and stuff because I didn't know how to edit that and mix it with high def movies or the widescreen. I didn't know any of that. I'm just like, I didn't know how. I was just left here by myself. I didn't have anybody to ask, so that was kind of how all that happened. So, but I've learned a lot. A tremendous amount since I started doing this. And when you're put in a position where you just have to do it or it ain't going to get done, you just learn. Just like my website, just like all this stuff, the editing. But Raymond says, Buster Crab. Yeah. Bring him back. Maybe I'll throw those old episodes on at the end. Maybe. I'm seeing some good ideas here. Al says that would be a great idea to show films in between each show. Yeah, like Raymond says with Buster Crab. You could go Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers. Cassandra says Ava and Samantha are in episodes 4 and 5. We just aired episode 2 tonight. Oh, so we're coming up on it. All right. Well, let me know what time you guys want to come on up and film those episodes. If you still want to do that, just let me know. David says, but Ava's hand's still in the splint until the 18th. So I don't know if that's something you want to, or just you're not showing your left hand. That's up to you. But Tom says, need an assistant? I'm cheap but not easy. Well, I like cheap and I like easy. But if you're not, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I'm not really in a position to pay anybody at this time until unless I got sponsored. Now, if I got sponsorship. That's why I'm really striving to get sponsorship because that would really help. It really would. 10 minutes till Chiller Night Theater, Brad says. All right, cool. That's amazing. 6 minutes now. And Cassandra says, hi, Evan. Thank you for joining. Oh, okay. Oh, you have the advantage. You can see who's joining. I can't unless somebody's commenting, so that's cool. Welcome, Evan. Brad says, but you made it, Brian. Yes, I did. Raymond says, on the job training. Yes. That's definitely what I had to do. Cassandra says, I will as soon as she is ready. Okay, yeah, let me know what dates you're interested in doing that. Terry says, never too old to learn new things. Boy, ain't that the truth. I honestly, I knew nothing about, and I did, not to toot my own horn, but toot. I mean, come on. Look. We got all this stuff going on, but I did, seriously, I just had to figure out all this stuff, and sometimes I'm screwing up, I did that, as you saw when we were doing the Friday Night Frights, I'm hitting wrong buttons every once in a while, luckily by the time it goes to Stream TV, I've edited out all those little choppy mistakes, and they see the clean episode, so not the dirty ones we do live, but that didn't sound right, did it? But Cassandra says, I'll be your assistant. I'm free and easy. I provide my own booze. All right. I like what I'm hearing. Brad says Sheets would be a great sponsor. Yeah, they would be. Cassandra says, I provide my own booze and I share with others. All right, I'm really liking what I'm hearing. We shall see, but I'm laying some things out there because I'd really love to see this stuff as much as I love doing it, I also don't want it to just kind of spin wheels. And I know that's just my fault because I haven't had time to make a lot of new episodes. I made very little here in 2019, except for the live. That's why I was doing the live ones, because that one I could keep up with to an extent. There was still a lot of time put into it, but I would really like to see new ones from the studio, which hopefully, fingers crossed, on the 23rd we'll have a new one, as well as a new Chiller Chat episode with my guest Phil Wilson, and that will be taped at the Stream TV television studio Monday. Coming up on Monday, we'll be doing that Monday, and hopefully I'll have that out on the 23rd. So that'll be kind of cool. That will be a big night, kicking off the holiday season with 2 new episodes, a brand new Chiller Night Theater and a brand new Chiller Chat. I'm crossing my fingers like crazy because I really wanted to get that done in October. The only thing that's kind of preventing me right now is because I'm tearing this haunted house down, and it's taking me a little longer than I thought because the battery on my drill it's dying. It drains after like 20 minutes. I can't be in there for hours working, doing that. I have to do other things, and just arrange things until the battery charges up a little bit and allows me to take another wall apart, and it drains because it's so cold over there. So, but we'll get it. And it's 8:57. Oh my gosh. All right, we got to put an end to this madness. And 5 minutes until Chiller Night Theater. Get your Rokus ready. Yes, and there is a delay. So now we've only got like 3 minutes or 2.5. So we will be closing this. David says, wow, end the show. Finish the champagne, and start Chiller Night Theater. Hop off of here and run to your Roku devices and get on Stream TV. And if you don't know where to look, it's streammedia.tv. And once again, thank you to Chop Block TV and Paranormal Warehouse, who do play the episodes of Chiller Chat and Chiller Night Theater, and we appreciate that. And I appreciate you joining me every week. We're back on. All right, folks. All right, thanks for joining me tonight. We'll see you next Saturday. Have a good night. Have a good Chiller night.